Hey, gem hunter. Did you know that you might be just a few steps away from a real treasure and not even realize it? Imagine walking along a river, thinking you're just enjoying the scenery, when in fact, you might be overlooking one of the most valuable stones on the planet. I'm not talking about gold or diamonds, but something much rarer and more powerful. And the best part, this opportunity could be within your reach without you even knowing it. Want to discover how to turn a simple walk into a treasure hunt? Stick with me, and I'll show you the secret to one of the most precious stones nature has to offer. Many people walk around without noticing the potential of the small things around them. A stone can just be another stone, or it could be the key to a hidden treasure. And I'm not talking about some fairy tale, no. I'm talking about something real, something you can learn to recognize, and that could change your life today. Now, before you call me a dreamer, stay with me until the end of this video, because what you're about to discover might surprise you. Let's talk about gemstones, and more specifically, one of them that, if you know how to spot it, could bring a huge change to your future. That's right, in just a few minutes In this video, we're going to show you how you can learn to identify one of nature's most valuable gemstones, jade. It might seem simple at first glance, but trust me, this stone holds impressive value. And if you know how to recognize it, it could change your perspective on everything around you. Most people never notice the opportunity, but you're going to learn to see with different eyes and understand how to detect this hidden gem. A lot of people have walked by, not knowing that one of the world's most sought-after stones was right there, within arm's reach. But you, the one watching this video, won't make the same mistake. Jade isn't just beautiful, it's valuable, and there's a market for it that can be very lucrative. And I know you want to learn how to make this identification with precision. So, stay tuned, because throughout this video, I'll show you everything you need to know to make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. And the best part is, you don't have to be an expert to get started. With a few simple steps and some tricks, you'll be on the right track to identifying jade and learning how it could be valuable to you. So, before we continue, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because I'm about to give you all the info you need to start seeing the world with. Now let's talk about why this knowledge can make all the difference in your life. Many gem hunters have discovered massive wealth simply by learning to look at stones in a different way. Believe it or not, stones can be far more valuable than you might think, and knowing how to identify them can be the key to big discoveries. It's like finding a lost treasure, but the most amazing part is that this treasure hunt is happening right under your nose. Have you ever noticed how, in many cases, opportunities are hidden in the details? Sometimes, a stone on the ground could be the gateway to something you never imagined. Like those people who, while walking in ordinary places, ended up stumbling upon jade and other precious stones. The thing is, while most curious people just walk by without noticing, those who know enough about what they're looking at end up turning simple walks into real adventures. And who knows? Maybe this is the moment for you to take the first step in discovering what so many others overlook. This is the key point you need to understand. What you're about to learn here isn't just a fun fact. This could actually help you identify valuable opportunities in your daily life. And the best part is that the precious stone market is growing, which makes knowing how to identify them even more relevant. So stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you exactly how to Now that you understand how valuable knowledge of gemstone identification can be, let's dive into the details of how you can start identifying jade. Jade, for example, has two main varieties that you need to know about: nephrite and jadeite. Both are precious, but they have some differences that can help you tell them apart. Nephrite is more common, but still highly sought after by collectors and craftsmen. On the other hand, jadeite is rarer and has a considerably higher value in the market. Knowing this, you can already see that looking at these stones in detail can make all the difference. The first thing you'll need to learn is how to differentiate the two varieties. Nephrite, for example, has a more fibrous texture and is less translucent, while jadeite has a more translucent, glassy appearance. Now, if you find a stone with these characteristics, you'll be better prepared to know what you're looking at. And this is just the beginning. There are other details that can be even more revealing, like the color and density of the stone, which are key clues. I'll teach you how to measure the density of a stone in a simple way so that you'll never get confused again. But jade identification doesn't stop there. Besides the visual characteristics and density, you can use a hardness test to confirm whether the stone is really jade. Jade is a pretty hard stone, with a rating of 6 to 7 on the Mohs scale. That means if the stone scratches glass, it's probably not jade. But if it doesn't scratch, that could be a good indication that you're on the right track. Now that you have a solid foundation to start, now that you know some characteristics to help identify jade, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. Let's start with a simple test that you can do anywhere, with easily accessible materials. The hardness test. Jade is a relatively hard stone, and that's a key characteristic for identification. So, what you can do is grab a piece of regular glass, like a broken bottle for example, and try to scratch the surface of the stone with it. If the stone leaves a mark, it's probably not jade. But if the stone doesn't scratch the glass, we've got a strong indication that it could be jade. Another interesting test involves the stone's density. Jade, especially jadeite, is a very dense stone. You can use a scale to weigh the stone and then submerge it in water to measure the displaced volume. The ratio between weight and volume will give you a good idea of the stone's density. While this test requires a bit more precision, it's great for confirming your suspicions about the gem's identity. And of course, density is one of the most reliable characteristics when identifying gemstones. These simple, quick tests can even be done while you're out on a hike or walking through a rocky area. The more you practice these methods, the easier it will be to spot jade in your future discoveries. So, if you're ready to venture out and do the tests, remember to always observe the stone closely and use these tips to make sure you're on the right track. Now, before we move on to the next point, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the tips coming up. Now that you know how to identify jade more accurately, it's time to understand the potential value of this stone. The precious stone market is highly profitable, and jade, especially jadeite, can be priced very differently depending on its quality. For example, a kilo of high-quality jade can be sold for thousands of dollars, depending on its color, translucency, and origin. To give you an idea, high-quality jade can be found in various parts of the world, and it's highly valued in Asia, especially in China, where it's considered a symbol of wealth and good fortune. This knowledge of the value of precious stones opens many doors. It's not just a fun fact or a cool skill to have, it's a real market. And you can benefit from it. Imagine that while walking along a river or in a rocky area, you find a piece of jade. If you know exactly what you're looking at, you could negotiate that stone or even resell it to collectors, jewelers, or specialized markets. Over time, you might even start making money from these discoveries, whether as a hobby or even as a new income stream. The best part is that by learning to identify and value jade, you begin to see the world differently. Those walks that were once just a stroll could turn into real business opportunities. And what's even more interesting is that this is an expanding market with growing demand for rare gemstones. So, by understanding the value of jade and learning how to identify it correctly, you're positioning yourself not only as a knowledgeable person, but also as a potential investor or seller. Now that you have all this knowledge in your hands, how about taking the next step and diving even deeper into the world of gemstones? I've prepared something special for you. We've created a complete ebook for beginners in gemology, where you'll learn everything about how to identify, test, and evaluate precious stones, from jade to other rare gems. And the best part, it's available in the first comment of this video. This material was made just for you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. But it doesn't stop there. If you're enjoying this content and want to keep learning, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any of the upcoming tips and strategies we'll be sharing with you. The next video is already showing on the screen, and I'm sure it's going to surprise you. So, take advantage, and let's continue this journey together. See you soon, Hunter.